This is Nick Baisley from FilmSnobbery.com. I'm here covering the Dances with Films Film Festival, their 16th annual, and I'm here with a couple of gentlemen. One you might recognize from previous interviews, the other one not so much yet, but I'm sure it'll garner a million hits easy. Why don't you introduce yourselves to the folks and tell us a little bit about what you're here with?
Yeah, I'm Christopher Soren Kelly, and I'm the writer, director, and one of the actors in a short film called CHASSEUR, which is about a Cajun fellow who's hunting the devil, and he goes to the crossroads where one can sell one's soul and meets the devil's lawyer, and that's played by.
I'm Joshua Bitton. I met Nick last year when he interviewed me when I was working on a film, and Chris is an old friend of mine, and he wrote this piece, and we drove up to Colorado and did it real guerrilla style, and it was a really good time.
I'll just tell you a little story now.
So Colorado, as opposed to maybe choosing to go out to like the desert or going somewhere else. What made you pick both the location and what was why this film? Like what made it important for you to make this?
Well, actually, we were going to shoot it here. I produced it here for earlier in the year, and it just wasn't working out. I just was like, no, it's not perfect, and then I started a lot of my film work in Colorado, so I have a lot of connections back there and people that I love to work with. And so we rescheduled it, and we went out to Colorado, and it was easier to get locations. And we worked with 5 or 6 people that we've worked with many times before that we love, and everybody was on board and did a great job. And so that's why we did Colorado. I write a ton, and I'm always writing different things. So there's a lot of projects that I'm into, but this was just a character that I started developing, and it just really took a hold of me. And then once I listened to the character, the story came out, and the story was, really compelling to me. So that's why I followed through on it.
Now you're an actor as well.
Yeah.
Yes, and you're both actors.
Mm-hmm.
Is it weird directing other actors, or do you find that being an actor gives you a better understanding of how to direct someone like Josh or someone else?
No, I think being an actor helps you direct other actors if you know what's going on. And also, Josh is also a acting teacher, and I've been in class with him, and he's got a very directorial kind of teaching style as well, which is very good. And I've definitely learned about how to direct actors from Josh as well. And I've directed a couple other things since, and it's very natural. I feel like I know what the actor's trying to do. I know what they need to hear, and so that's been very helpful. Yeah, and I enjoy that part. Although in this case, honestly, Josh didn't need much direction, and we rehearsed it, and we both knew where we were. But in other cases, it's been very helpful to be an actor while directing. Yeah.
Josh, question for you, finally. And actually, being an acting instructor as well and being a working actor, you see a lot of people, maybe it's their first time, maybe a lot of first-timers in your classes. Sure. What is the biggest mistake that you see a lot of beginning actors making that you've even had to correct maybe with yourself a long time ago, or or you occasionally still see yourself making and be like, no, I shouldn't do that, or what is it? Is it more the business or is it more the craft?
I think that can be either. I think one of the big mistakes that actors make a lot, especially when they first get here, but definitely something that I think Chris and I deal with, and I think every actor deals with in the business, is just the level of anxiety that rises up in you, in this sense that you need to get everything now, and I need to get an agent now, I need to get a job now, and the business isn't going anywhere. There may be that role that you think you have to have, but another one similar to it or more suited for you is going to come down the road. So especially when you first start out, I think one of the most important things to do is get here to LA, get a job that pays your bills, get an apartment that you can actually live in and afford, and get yourself in a class and learn how to do what it is you really want to pursue. In terms of the work, I think that those challenges depending on the part and the, you know, the production, different things are always going to arise, and there's always something to learn from it. And in a lot of ways at this point, I think I've gotten to a place where the mistakes that I think I would, when I was younger, would have really killed myself for, I go, that's part of it, you know, so that you can just have more ease and more relaxation as you go. And I think that whether it's with the performance or with the business, is I think the hardest thing that young actors deal with, you know, or just starting out actors, is that anxiety to be perfect and make it all happen right away.
As I say, it's a marathon, not a sprint, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, no question about it. There are no overnight successes. The overnight, you know, when people see people who are famous when they're 22 or 23, almost all of those actors were kid actors, and they've been in it for 8-10 years. You know, it is a real process. And Hollywood likes to, I think, weave that tale of, you didn't know who he was yesterday, and now he's this big star. But all of my friends who are very successful have really come up through the ranks, doing guest stars here, small roles in films, plays, and then eventually something happened and the ball really got rolling.
Tell me a little bit about your character in the flick.
I play a character named Mycroft Coney, who is the attorney for the devil. He's the one who draws up the contracts, meets these people at the crossroads, goes through all the paperwork, makes sure everything is done legally and properly. And, you know, he's just a lawyer. He hasn't sold his soul to the devil. He just sees it as a job. As he says in the film, he works for the local politicians, some doctors, you know, he has a law firm. The thing is he's completely myopic to the idea that by signing souls to the devil, he's probably sold his away already.
You say his name was Mycroft?
Mycroft.
Is someone just clever, or someone like have a little crush on Sherlock Holmes? Is that?
I noticed that. I don't know which came first there. I don't know if I heard that there, during the first season, because I wrote this almost 2 years ago, probably. I don't know where that came, but I did notice the similarity there. Yeah, but I do love that show. So yeah.
No, it's such a it's also just such a different name,
yeah.
You know, and it's interesting. It has character to it, and it adds character, which I'm sure helps yourself as well.
Yeah, and actually, his name is Mycroft Coney, and there's a little play on words there because Coney is a rabbit, and I definitely see his character a little bit as like the White Rabbit character from, at least in the beginning of the movie, as the White Rabbit character from Alice in Wonderland. He's late, he's nervous, he's kind of physically cowardly, but he's smart, you know, and that's definitely one idea I had for that character at the start of it.
When you're setting out to either write or direct a film, is it always to make something that is different or challenging? Do you more so look to challenge yourself, the people you work with, or do you typically like to look to make things that are more commercially viable? Do you try to kind of have an intersection of all those things? You know, I mean, I guess the question is, do you make movies for you, or do you make movies for an audience?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you try to do an intersection, but I think I tend to make movies for me more than the other way around. But I always have it in mind. And I really hope, and I guess I firmly believe this, that as Josh was saying, it's a marathon, and if you spend the time to be really true to yourself and really make good stuff, not that you totally ignore the audience, but the main thing is to make quality work, and you do that over a period of years, that pays off in the end. And eventually you get you keep listening to what people's not working for people, and eventually you're going to land on something that's truly unique, but also really connects with people. And so far, you know, the short is working that way. It's a very, you know, it's linguistically complicated, and it's non-linear. There's all sorts of reasons that this wouldn't work for an audience, but at least for the film festival audience, it's working pretty well, and so that's a good sign. You know.
Yeah, and the thing that for me that was fun about it is that Chris gave me an opportunity to do something and play a kind of role that very often no one will really give me a chance to, and also to play sort of in a world with a character like the one he's playing that is so sort of off center that, you know, I think it comes from him, and because of that, it is genuine, you know. And I think in the end, any great filmmaker, any great actor, that's where their work comes from and where it should come from, and that's what brings people to it, because it's sort of a point of view they haven't seen, you know. And Chris's is a little different than others.
Does being an actor also inform the writing process as well, because you're looking to create dynamic characters like, oh, I've always wanted to play that kind of character, or a friend or another person I would love to have in this movie. I don't get to see them play this type. And I think they'd be a really interesting twist on their personality or whatever. So when you're writing, do you ever write, do you look for those interesting characters that really make either you or other people as an actor stand out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in this case, this was written, it began as an acting piece. I was just like, okay, I want to work on this character as an actor. And the story came out of that. And that doesn't always happen, but yeah, in general, I'm always looking to create something challenging, something that's going to be challenging for everybody involved, so that every element of the project pushes both the people who are making it and also the audience, that they're seeing people on the edge of their abilities. Because I think that's where cool stuff happens, is when you see people on the edge of their abilities, then they're going to have to do things they've never done before. It's going to seem fresh. It's going to feel fresh to them, and it's going to seem fresh to the audience. And this one definitely started that way. I did a character that was maybe 2 steps beyond my ability when I started working on it. I mean, it was a scary project for me, and there was a heavy dialect and a lot of camera time right on this character, and it definitely could have been a complete failure, but it drew me forward as an actor, and that's why I wrote it. So, yeah.
I was going to say, one of the things that was amazing about it, I think, because of that is, there were 6 of us, including cast, producer, camera op, and there was just 6 of us making this film. And that as we were doing that and sort of living on this edge and really sort of discovering location and moments, it happened behind camera too, where you would see the DP go, oh, and just really discover something because of something that Chris had done in the moment, or something, some horse snorting in the background that gave us this idea for something. So it really was sort of unfolding in its own way because of that, because Chris put us in this world that really sort of challenged us all to visually make it work, and also performance-wise, it made it a lot of fun.
Cool. Let's talk a little bit about the film festival circuit, and specifically Dances with Films. This is probably not either of your first times at film festivals. Is your first time at Dances? Yep. Yes. Yeah. Okay. As far as your experience so far, how's the audience reaction been? And also, what made you want to submit to Dances with Films? Is it just because of the location, because it's right in Hollywood? Is it on reputation, or is it because, you're a filmmaker, they treat filmmakers well? What was the motivation there?
Yeah, I mean, our research into where we were submitting was not the deepest, but when we wanted to premiere in LA sometime soon, and so, but once we looked into Dances with Films, I mean, the support for the filmmakers is fantastic, and that's we're so happy that this turned out to be our West Coast premiere, and it's been great. I mean, the support from the audience and the support from the fellow filmmakers for the film has been just astounding, and I love the festival. I love being it's a single program festival. There's no parallel programming, so you can go to everybody's film if you don't have a day job or anything. You can just go to. You don't have to compete. You don't have to think between which one, and everyone's having the same experience. All the filmmakers are there seeing the same film, so we can have conversations. But it's not like, oh, did you see this film? No, I was over there. We were all having the same experience, and so there's been a real shared community, and I know I've made connections already that will probably be lifelong. If certainly are going to be something that's going to be, in the near future, part of my life. So it's been great. Yeah.
How about for the future? Are you guys taking it to another festival after this one? Do you already have plans? Are you guys looking in terms of distribution, which I know with shorts is can be dicey. What is what's kind of the plan? What's next?
Well, it's going to be screening in a couple weeks, June 17th, I think, at the New York City International Film Festival in Times Square. And it's been nominated for Best Drama in a Short there. So that's what's up next. And then we've just started sending out to other festivals, and we're going to do a fairly full festival run. We're not too concerned about, we're sending it to most of the festivals. We want people to see it. We're proud of the work of the actors and the story, and we want to make a feature film on this. I have a script detailed, outlined, and I'm ready to make that if we can get the pieces together. And so we want as many people to see this as possible. And so we're gonna do that. In terms of distribution, otherwise, we're open to that. We haven't really researched it yet too much. Yeah.
I was actually I was gonna say this sounded like it could have been lent itself to a feature, and so it's great to hear that that's something that was already kind of in the back of your mind as you kind of were approaching that. I want to thank you guys for coming down here and chatting with us. It's actually been really great. Is there any other place that people can get a little more information about the film, either online or offline?
Yeah, there's a Facebook page, CHASSEUR, Facebook CHASSEUR the movie. So you can go there, and it will list all the festivals that are coming up, and there's a teaser there. You can see that, and yeah, that's where we got most of our information. Yeah.
All right. Well, again, thank you guys very much. I look forward to seeing what happens next with the film, and thank you for hitting up Dance with Films, obviously their 16th annual, and thank you for coming on and doing an interview with us. I appreciate it.
It was our pleasure, man. Good to see you again.